everybody, my name is Starrapter and welcome to the channel. This is my spoiler-free review for Space Jam: A New Legacy, directed by Malcolm D. Lee and starring LeBron James and Don Cheadle. So we have LeBron James and his family. They get sucked into the Warner Brothers Serververse after the villain of this LG, played by Don Cheadle, wants to make a name for himself. He is part of this server. He is not actually a human, but he's trying to use LeBron James as a way to boost his fame and his invention of the Serververse, which really combines all the different assets of Warner Brothers, from The Matrix to Harry Potter to Game of Thrones to all these other properties DC. So we have LeBron James, and the only way he can get out and save his family is by playing this epic basketball game. So yes, this movie is basically a love letter to the original Space Jam. There's a lot of nostalgia there, a lot of things that kind of transfer the way they would back then in 1996. I will say that I like the story between LeBron James and his son. I think it was very sweet. We didn't get anything quite like that in the original Space Jam, and it does give us some really good themes, such as, for a parent from their point of view, not having your kids set up to do something that you want necessarily, but really listen to them and what they want to do, right? If they don't want to play baseball, don't make them play baseball. Let them kind of pave their own territory, which is kind of the message that this gets out to the audience. Also, just be yourself. Be yourself. Try not to fit yourself into that box that society wants you to do. Like, if you are basically comfortable in your own skin, that is really the moral of this story. And that basically just about does it for the positives. There's a lot going wrong with this movie, in my opinion. So, first off, it sticks out like a sore thumb. LeBron James' acting. He even makes like a funny reference to himself in this movie about, hey, how this is a bad idea for him to even be acting. I kind of have to agree with him. I mean, this guy's a basketball player first, not an actor. And this kind of came up with the original Space Jam with Michael Jordan. Same thing there. Some of his lines were coming off wooden. The guy's obviously trying very hard, and you got to give him credit for that. But maybe he gets another crack at a more serious type of role if he ever is, and that makes it a little bit better. But I just feel like he didn't have the ups and downs, the highs and lows of an actor being able to kind of go between the different realms of acting prowess, right? Going the different kind of emotions didn't really kick off as well for me. I feel like this movie was way too derivative. Whereas it was nostalgic in certain moments, the whole plot thread is completely predictable because basically the same thing happens in the original Space Jam. We start off the movie, it's like the flashback of LeBron James, just like Michael Jordan. We're trying to recruit a team, just like in the original Space Jam. We get to the actual basketball game, and halfway through, they're getting their butts kicked, and they have to come up and inspire themselves. So it's literally beat for beat like the same movie. So from that perspective, it's like, okay, what is actually here that is actually new and surprising? And the answer to that is pretty much nothing. As I said, there was a lot of interlinking with Warner Brothers, and I think it was done way too much. This movie felt like a freaking commercial for Warner Brothers and what's coming out. Like, hey, look, we got some Harry Potter stuff. Hey, look, we have some Warner Brothers stuff. Hey, look, we have a new Matrix movie coming out. Hey, look, Game of Thrones is going to have a prequel. Like, there's so much stuff that's just kind of like thrown in your face. And I'll be honest with you, during that basketball game that took way too long, by the way, they have all these spectators in the background, and it's like all these knockoffs of like Agent Smith and King Kong and some Harry Potter people and whatnot. And it's just like half the time I was just like spent looking at the background, not really paying attention because I didn't have a lot of stakes in the actual story. So there's a lot going wrong with that. I feel like the jokes just came off as a little bit lame for sure. With that being said, I got to give Space Jam: A New Legacy a 5 out of 10. This is a bad movie, so probably don't go watch it in the theaters if you have the chance, because you're better off just watching this on HBO Max or just straight up skipping this one. Because I'll be honest with you, after leaving the theater, I was already forgetting about this movie. It's a forgettable movie that's not going to leave a very large impression on you. Can you perhaps be entertained? Maybe. So if you like Space Jam, the original, maybe give this one a watch. But if you're not invested in Space Jam at all, probably one worth skipping. So what did you guys think of this movie? Let me know in the comment section down below. For more on reviews for movies, such as my Black Widow review, you can check that out, as well as many other Marvel and Star Wars content, simply by subscribing to the channel so you never miss another video. That's gonna do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.